A -2 battle in the mountains is pretty bad, but a naval landing into the same mountain for a total of -4 is really bad, right? Turns out that's just the tip of the iceberg, and you can do a hell of a lot worse than that. So let's see how far we can go before we're better off sending the men into a literal meat grinder. So a bit of a backstory. About a millennium ago, I made this video where I made what I thought to be the worst possible battle ever. It was a naval landing into mountains with a total of -4 to the dice roll. While -4 is pretty bad, it's not exactly the worst possible battle, as kind people in the comments pointed out. Before we really get into it, what I mean by worst battle, I mean the dice roll modifier and only the dice roll modifier. So no discipline, morale, combatability, general type of thing, just the dice roll modifier. I don't want to have Tech 32 militarized Prussian space marines obliterating Tech 1 Aztecs or something. That would be way too simple. So now that we're on the same page, let's think. What do we need to do to basically be throwing troops out of a 100-meter cliff? Well, obviously it has to be some kind of naval landing into the mountains, with a bit of a twist, right? Let's take a look at the comments of the said very kind people. The one we are interested in today is this combo right here. They're saying that the worst possible battle ever is -4 on your side and +3 on the enemy side for a total of -7. Keep that in mind, as my goal for today would be to surpass it and go even further beyond. So let's start with the basics. +1 from ramparts and +1 from the terrain of the capital in the Age of Discovery. It's very dumb of me to forget about it actually, but in my defense, I have no defense. I'm just dumb. Anyway, so let's add that to our equation. +2 from naval landing, +2 from the mountains, and +2 from these two for a total of 6. Pretty close already. Let's see what else they got. There's a bonus that Hussites have in the Tier 5 government reform, Poland in the mission tree, and Calvinists in unique Tier 1 reform. Honestly, I've never heard about this before, but apparently it's a thing now. Tier 5 government reform, Lessons of the Hussite Wars, gives +1 global defender dice roll bonus. Did they add it in domination or something? Well, anyways, not to be outdone, I decided to go through all new government reforms, events, or literally anything that could be of use. I spent hours scrolling through the wiki, checking buildings, ideas, events, policies or whatnot to come up with this, the final game plan. First, we need to convert to Hussite and be Czech, Sorbian or Silesian culture to get the lessons of the Hussite Wars. There are a few other bonuses that depend on the culture or government reform, like they embrace the concept of free will. It requires us to be Zoroastrian and gives +1 in our own territory bonus. The other option is to be Catholic and Iberian to get the new Holy Order. This is the one we need, and it also gives +1 local defender bonus. However, it doesn't show up if I simply convert to Castilian culture for whatever reason, so we'll do something else instead. Second, we need to get a special province. There are a few provinces that have additional dice roll modifiers, like this Scottish province right here, with a monument that you can't move anywhere, and that would be so nice to have. There's also Lubeck with the event for +1, but since it's a useless farmland with 0 default bonuses, we are gonna simply ignore it. There is also this Byzantine province with +1, which is actually a hill, so not too bad, but we can do better than that. Viborg, Finland. With some recent updates, there's a brand new fancy Finnish mission tree. The key thing here is that we want this thing, St. Olaf Tower. It gives a pretty crazy +2 defender dice roll bonus, and because it's not just some farmland, but an actual forest, it still outweighs a regular mountain. Finland has another great bonus up its sleeve, but we'll get to that a bit later. So let's get to work. Start as Sweden, release and play as Finland. Complete the mission tree. Not all of it is necessary for our goal, and some take quite a long time, but the ones we need are doable. We just need to invade or integrate the entire Baltic, Novgorod, and have a massive army, develop a bunch of provinces and build a bunch of buildings. You know, the usual stuff. I was worried for a second that the Turku mission requires a university, but it's either that or diving a few times, so no big deal. We are gonna take St. Olaf's Tower mission and definitely this last mission in the branch, so the White Death, which among many other cool modifiers like hostile attrition and fort defense and blah blah blah, gives a +1 combat bonus in the terrain of the capital, just like the age objective. So we'll have to move our capital to Viborg sometime later to actually use the mission and for extra bonus from the Age of Discovery. Actually, let me do that already and see the battle in action, as we are already doing better than Ilya Kuzmelov ever imagined. So let's calculate. -2 from naval landing, -1 from the forest itself, +1 from the ramparts, +1 from the Age objective, +1 from the White Death, +2 from the province specific mission. So let's take a look at that in action. While they're still landing, let me tell you that I fixed the dice modifier at 5, so there's no luck involved and the armies have equal stats and tech. Yeah, as you can see, these poor Volgasters had no chance. But anyway, we can still work on that and get it so bad that sending your men out in the storm might be a better option for their survival. With the majority of the work done, there's still a few options we have to further boost our defense and make life a living hell for the invaders. One of the options is to invade Poland. They have one mission that we can use to maximize the dice roll bonus, the lifetime of war, that triggers the expanding the quarter army event. It's an amazing event that can get you +1 own territory dice roll bonus if you have +30 infantry combat ability and +25% discipline, which is actually quite hard to get legally at this tech. All I did previously is still somewhat possible before the Age of Reformation to keep the age bonus, but getting the combat ability and discipline is much harder. Also, that mission requires forming the PLC, which is actually an endgame tag and also blocks the Hussite reform, so our long fought journey will end there at a measly -3 and +6. So let's explore the other options. The other options we have are Spain and France, because Spain has a +1 bonus from the Holy Order, and France, well, they can just steal that from Spain through the mission tree. We can also go Zoroastrian and form Persia, but that's kinda tough. So I tried that first. Through the magic of console commands, I conquered Persia in just a few seconds and formed Persia. I had no idea how to add Adur, Gush, Kushnasp through the console commands, so I had to wait for a while. Finally, I can click the button and see it all in action. And the best part is that because I have the units from the Finnish times, they still have the same Western tech group, so the battle is as equal as it gets. Let's take a look. That's almost a wipe with equal forces. Have you seen a battle worse than that? Next, I tried the Spanish route, but no matter what I do, I can't seem to get the Holy Order that I need, the Order of Calatrava, even though I meet all the requirements. And it also requires us to be Catholic, which blocks the Hussite pass, so instead I tried getting that Holy Order through the new French mission tree, through the Crusader King pass, where we just need to be friendly with the Pope, secure and convert the Holy Land, have a Spanish ally with 100% trust, you know, the usual. Quite frankly, I don't know if you can do all of that before the Age of Reformation starts, without any console commands, but at least there are no tech requirements, so it might be possible. But unlike the Spanish route, this thing actually allows me to get the order, and it works perfectly. Yes! Finally! Oh my god. Even after casually integrating Bohemia and flipping the finger on the Pope by doing a complete 180 and turning Hussite, it works. So let's see it in action. This landing is so good that they might as well be thrown out of a Czech window. Oh wait.
The Bohemians had a clever way of countering this. They threw Ferdinand's representatives out of a third-story window.